so much. Good afternoon, everybody. And congratulations to all the students. Sorry, all the designers now. You are no longer students. Please give yourself a round of applause. It has not been easy. Alright, so today I'll be talking just briefly about the importance of costing. And just a few minutes ago, we heard about how to use social media for our business. And as much as we have heard that okay, position yourself well, do this and do that, it is important that you get your costing right. Am I communicating? So if I am positioning myself well, and then now I can grab the attention of those customers, when they come, do I really charge them right? When they come, am I undercharging or am I overcharging them? So there's a thing as overcharging. Don't look at it like, oh, the only thing is undercharging. There's a thing as overcharging. But the main thing now is that even when I get these people, how will my business remain profitable? So you are going out graduating, and some of you would be opening up a business and starting, and then you have thought of, you've heard so much about getting customers. You probably have your friends and families now. You probably even have people you have been speaking to while you were doing your project and assignments, and they've seen, oh, this girl can sew well, I'm going to patronize her. But then do you believe that poor costing leads to an unsuccessful business? Do we agree? So it means that for you to sustain your business for 6 months at least before you go bankrupt, you need to understand what costing is. I'm going to be looking both sides because I know even though they need it so well, you can also get some things. So even though I'm saying, yes, I'm graduating now, I'm starting my business, I am going to go to Yaba and buy all the fabrics there and launch a line, or I know my niche is this, my niche is that. At what point do I understand the importance of costing in my business? And that's why we're doing that now. So what is costing exactly? I'm just going to read from my phone here. And I picked one that I really thought that captures a lot of it. It says, in fashion manufacturing, costing means the process of estimating and then determining the total cost of producing a garment or item. So costing is the first step before you say, oh, how do I price this? Costing is the first step you take to get your price. Did we get that? Costing is the first step you take to get your price. And when I read from this, what it simply means that for me to cost, I must understand all the processes involved in making one garment. So if I call up somebody now and say, what you are putting on, how much did it cost you to make this? Who wants to volunteer? Just one person. From the students now. No, I don't want someone that has knowledge on costing very well. One person is actually Macom. Please, let's give her a round of applause as she comes. Thank you so much. Let's keep clapping until she gets here. It's not easy. Clap well now. See, it needs to be this fine. So I'm just going to ask, maybe we'll just use it as a demo. So I'm going to be asking another designer, designer Jennifer. Yeah, come now. Please let's clap for her. So designer Jennifer is an advanced designer. And then I will just be asking briefly. Now this is just a simple dress. Thank you. This is just a simple dress. So you can really make this, right? I believe. You can. Yeah. So if you are making this, can you tell us like most of the things that you would use or you would think to put into your costing? So what we are saying basically is that costing is the processes that are involved. So you need to pay attention to most of the things you are using to make this dress. We are doing a short demo. So we are trying to understand most of the things we are going to use to make this dress to get the price. We just don't look at the dress and say, okay, I can sell this for 5,000 or I can sell this for 10,000. We want to pay attention to what were the things we used to conclude this dress, to give you this final look, and then she'll just help us with it. So we are not trying to judge whether she's right or wrong. Okay, we are learning together here.
So what are the materials? Okay, first of all, I have to look at the kind of fabric, kind of design itself. It's a flowing dress, so I'll be thinking of a fabric that has a bit of flow to it, not something thick or bulky. And there are certain fabric that will fall in that category that vary with price. So that's one of the first things I'll be thinking about. Also, it had a little bit of embellishment on it, so I'll also be thinking of the beadwork on it. It's a free dress, so it's most like, depending on the fabric I'm using, if I'm not thinking of a transparent fabric, this doesn't look see-through, so there will be no need for an underlining to it. The costing for underlining will not be there. So I'll think of the fabric, most likely Duchess, which is a bit flowy. So I'll think of Duchess, I'll think of my number of yardage, which will determine the total cost of fabric, and then my embellishment, depending on what I want to use. I could decide to stick with this particular kind of bead, or go with another variation of bead. So with that in mind, I'll be able to say the total amount I will need, yardage, and whatnot. Then of course the buttons at the end, the hook, not that so on.
Let's clap for her. Thank you so much. You can go back. We are still with you. All right. So she has mentioned quite a number of things, but some of the things that food. Somebody's saying food. Okay. So, but first, I'd like to break it down. We don't have so much time, so I won't go into details. But when thinking about costing, there are at least 3 different things that you need to think of. So the first is direct costing, indirect costing, and then your profits. So most of the things she mentioned to us are the direct things that we are seeing. So when I say direct costing, these are things that you can see physically on the dress. So I can see the pearls, I can see the fabric, I can see the thread, I can see the buttons. There are things that are directly on it. But when you say the indirect ones are in fact, the sewing machine you use, you can't see, they didn't put the sewing machine on this dress, you can't see it, but you use the sewing machine. Right? Now, where I went to buy this fabric, I didn't trek there. Abi, did you trek? I didn't trek there. So transportation is important. Now, there's a place of pressing this dress. So you use iron, right? What else? Water. She drank water while she was... In fact, some of us will still eat, right? Then there's NEPA bill. Did you know? There's NEPA bill. Now, if I'm sending this to a client, I'm definitely going to brand it. So you're putting nylon, you're putting all of that. So thank you so much. You can leave. Please, let's clap for her. One thing that you must always pay attention to is that your costing has a lot to do more than what you're seeing physically. And then even if you are thinking, oh, house rent, shop rent, if you are paying like 100,000, there's a way you have to divide it per month into how many dresses you are making. It's not just about, I'm calculating the fabrics, I'm calculating the buttons, the thread. The truth is, when you keep doing that, and after 6 months I give you, you won't be making profits. You would only be, you're not even sustaining the business, that's the truth, because there's no money coming out for you to pay your rent. There's no money coming out for you to pay your bills. There's no money coming out for you to pay NEPA, waste, and all of that. You are only just trying to stay in business, which at the end of 6 months, you will be out of business. So that's why I said at the beginning, I don't know if I said it, but a successful business requires or is equivalent to proper costing. So I'm going to shift a bit and also say something that I think is quite important about costing, which will also help your business. So when you are doing your costing, it is important for you to have your customer at the back of your mind. Did you get that? So if I'm saying I want to make a dress like what she's wearing, and you need to have a price range for your business. So why is it that I can have business A who charges 5,000 naira for that dress, and I have this business B who will still charge 10,000 naira for the same dress? Have you ever thought of that? Like, same business, same fabric, same quality, same dress, same structure, but different prices. Now that is where you understand costing and then your target market. So the speaker before said something about the target market, and I want to put that into the costing. So when I'm thinking costing and I'm saying, okay, I want to make dresses that are between 5,000 naira to 10,000 naira, what are the things I'm doing? So if I'm buying fabric, that is Duchess like 1,500 naira per yard, or even 2,000 naira. And I say maybe you need like 2 to 3 yards there, and I want to sell this for 5,000 naira. So if I'm saying I need like 2 yards, that's 3,000 naira already. She bought pearls. How much did you buy your pearls? Huh? You got SIM pack. How much was the pack? 3,500. So if we divide by 7, so let's say she used 1/7 of that. That would be like how much? 500 naira. So we've calculated how much? 3,000, 3,500 now. And then there are other things we've not calculated, like thread, transportation to where she's going to. At the end of the day, when we calculate everything, we'll have gone above 5,000 naira. Do you understand that? So you must also understand that in placing your price, understand that the target market I'm working with, are they people who can afford 5,000 naira or 10,000 naira? So if they can afford 10,000 naira, then I can shift that design. In fact, you could decide to add more to that design and even sell for a higher price. But if you understand that your target market is just going to afford 5,000 naira, you will need to bring down the details. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's to fit into your costing and also to get you to run a profitable business. So it's not like, oh, I see this person is bidding and everywhere is bidded. I want to do the same thing, but you don't have the same target audience. So you're going to run at loss, because if she sells one dress for 500,000 naira and you don't have a client that can buy your dress, one dress for 500,000 naira, you will run at a loss because you will try to keep breaking it down. But your production cost is even way more than the price you want to sell. And then over a while, you start saying, my village people have just been dealing with me. Look at the dresses I make, so nice. People are buying. Don't make that mistake in December. A lot of tailors will keep sewing and sewing and sewing. They get tired, then in January, they are trying to calculate. There's nothing. So please, it's very important to make sure that whatever it is you are doing, have a budget that you want to run. So you are dealing with a customer, they are coming, I want to make this dress, maybe for my second dress, and what's your budget? Oh, my budget is just 50,000 naira. If they are choosing something that is fully bidded and you know it's going to be above 50,000 naira, give them options and make sure your profit is inside. Do we understand that? So I'm just going to check you and try to round up. Okay. So another point to note while dealing with costing, which is quite important to your business, is you should have knowledge of the price of things outside. So with the way Nigeria is going, you can get to the market today and doll face is 300 naira, and you get there tomorrow and doll face is 600. So it's quite important that when your customer says, give me the price, no, let me get it. You're like, calm down, no, I want to know. Is it that you want to go ask somebody else? You need to let them know. You would make inquiries. So first thing to note is, have the contact of your suppliers. Or at least join groups where they can answer those questions. Like, how much is doll face now? How much is doll chest now? How much are they selling pearls now? So you don't cost your business based on old price. And then it's so difficult because when you already tell a customer that this is 10,000 naira, you now go back and say, this is 25,000 naira. They look at you like, are you really serious? So it's very important, take time, have that knowledge of the prices of things in the market. Sometimes go to the market and just learn about them. And it's going to help you. But to round up majorly, I would just like to say that if you see fashion of business or business of fashion, is quite important, even as you have learned the act of pattern making, the act of bidding and all of that. You realize that you make amazing dresses, but you don't have anything to show for it. You don't want to be such designers. So please pay attention, do short courses on costing, short courses on business of fashion. Even go into accounting. You are not a local fashion designer. So pay attention to if you need to get somebody, if you feel you can't do it, please get somebody. It's better to pay somebody than to lose that money. Do you understand? So I really want to round up now, and I sincerely wish you all the best. I hope to see fashion designers can ride cars now. See your girl, she has a car, her business is booming. So you need to understand that and tap into that. Don't just see that you would always sit behind your machine. But I pray that the Lord would grant us knowledge, the Lord will help us in all that we do. And even the little things that we have said here, it would grow. And when you open your phones, you see things linking to the knowledge that you need. In Jesus' name. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Designer Malola. Thank you very much.